Back on the Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell and your afternoon drive. Kurt Kaplan on ones and two. John Ashmead on the cameras here that we're filming for YouTube and our YouTube channel. So if you want to check out any of this stuff or tell your friends about it, what's our YouTube channel?
The Rob Dibble Show.
Really? That's a pretty cool name.
It's real simple. We took about 2 weeks to come up with it.
We had a committee. It was a blue ribbon panel that took a while.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I like
love
what
you
we
guys.
ended up with.
I mean, listen, we love golf. We love watching golf. It's going to take a while for this all to sink in because I'm still in shock over it. Honestly,
A lot of people are. You're not the only one.
When you're going week to week, month to month with the back and forth, and I just thought it was cool that they were going to all play in the the majors together this year. I was like, okay, that's enough for now.
I agree.
That's enough because I still kind of like that you had this tour and you got that tour, you got the Corn Ferry Tour, you got the Asian Tour, and it's like the minor leagues of golf. Until you can get to the PGA Tour, you're still kind of in the minor leagues. The Live Tour, like we know, it's team format. It's 54 holes. They've got their it's not. Is it Studio 54? What is it?
Club 54.
They call themselves Club 54. Yeah. So I mean, they all had all this cool stuff. And then how does it get to? By the way, we're in court together. We're not happy. So let's sue the crap out of each other. And then you're like, you know what? Why are we going to waste millions of dollars? And like you just said, the PGA may have thought we don't have it to spend if we're going to compete with Live. We don't have it to spend, and then Liv probably gives them an olive branch and says, hey, why don't we just all go together?
Well, the other big questions I have for the future of this is who's next? Like how do you get new talent into this? If we're going to pay these guys in a way where, hey, you're so great, here's $1 million without actually winning anything, how do you get young talent? How do you get 18-year-olds? How do you get the who's next crop to come up through the ranks? Is there going to be some kind of amateur tournament that you're supposed to win? Is there going to be some kind of draft for college golf? Is there going to be a free agency almost, if you will, for the tours and where people are getting paid super duper money just to show up to tournaments? I don't know. Now, if we do this, is this going to inhibit competition? The one thing I always wonder about Major League Baseball, NBA, those two in particular, with some of the big-time dollars that are out there, how hard are they actually trying? Now that they're paid, now that they don't have to worry about anything else but playing the game, why don't they bust their butts like they did on that contract year? So is this really going to enhance the competition, or is this going to water down the competition because nobody really needs the money at this point? Everybody's going to make $100 million. I don't know. That question right there is honestly one of the bigger ones for me as a fan, as in what I'm watching. Am I going to see things bigger, faster, stronger like I have in the NFL for years, where they keep on pushing the limits, like I have in track and field and swimming and diving in the Olympic sports, where they keep on pushing the limits? Or are the limits just going to be what they are, and I'm just going to get to watch Phil Mickelson make par? Is the envelope going to get pushed in the game like it has been when you're scratching for money?
All right, so Sky Sports, which Rich Beam works for, they've got some key points here. Let's go over. So Live golfers who were suspended indefinitely by the PGA and DP World Tour will be able to reapply for membership by the end of the 2023 season. That's huge because there's 30 names on there that are the biggest in the world that again, we're only allowed to play in the 4 major tournaments until yesterday.
But that's great for them. Right. Now, on the other side, the PGA players were told, if you leave, you're never coming back.
Right.
So don't take that money. And now look at you. Now you're going to let those guys back? I did what you told me to, and now I'm going to be left out because, I'm loyal? That is the real heated part of that meeting yesterday at the Canadian Open is, why are you letting these guys back in? Let them play their majors, let them play their 54-team tournament, and we'll keep doing the PGA thing. That question hasn't got answered. Now they can apply. Doesn't mean they're going to get back in, but money talks, man.
Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, which is the PIF, which funded Live Golf's emergence, will make a capital investment into the combined entity as part of the agreement to facilitate its growth and success. We heard that yesterday. What does it really mean?
To me, it sounds like they're just, here's a boatload of cash for all your prize money. Here's $500 million. Here's $1 billion. Here's $1 billion. You figure it out. That's your prize money. You need more, come back to the bank. We'll let you know.
Live Golf's 2023 schedule will continue as planned.
Yeah, everything, which, thankfully.
So everything stays the same right now through the rest of the season.
We will be at the Travelers on the 19th in this month, and the schedule that is out right now will remain. I'm thinking the FedEx Championship is the end of all of this. That's the end of the season. January 1st is like the deadline that the schedule needs to be out for the rest of the world. And I say world, I'm not talking like countries. I'm talking like advertisers, television, everything that needs to be set up way in advance for these things to go off without a hitch. So that schedule, I think, is the thing that gets a lot of people locally, fans, just anyone that's involved with the tournament that's not a major. You are kind of, are we going to be a part of this or not?
All lawsuits between the PGA Tour, DP World Tour, and Live Tour Golf will be ended.
Yeah. That's hey, man.
We can't ever find out the dirt on anybody.
So true.
Oh, the lawyers got to be upset then, right?
No, lawyers are the biggest winners in all this.
Because they get paid as the trial keeps going on.
Saying,
I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
There's no compensation here.
But those boys or girls, whoever's
going to make some
they're going to be fine. They had a great week.
I'm just a little upset about the animosity, and will there be apologies?
Yeah, I'm upset that the animosity goes to Brooks Koepka or Phil Mickelson or Bryson DeChambeau or any of the live golfers.
Because we don't see the owners of PIF, the people that run it.
Yeah.
We have no idea who they are.
And honestly, from 2022, and we're just talking golf, what have they done wrong? They wanted to have great golf tournaments, and they wanted to have the best players in the world. And the one thing that will get them there is cash, and they got that. So that's, kind of elementary. But when people go out and just demonize the guys for taking that money to play their game of golf, I don't do that. I feel for those guys. I wonder if myself, if I had $150 million offered to me to play golf in 8 tournaments in a team situation where I can lose and be the worst and still get paid, I would be hard pressed to say no. I would be hard pressed to say no. But some of those other guys, like Jay Monahan, I'm sorry, he does not walk away from this as a guy that you shouldn't blame on taking the money, because, again, it's different. This guy a year ago to the week was telling us all the bad things about Liv and why you can't do any business with them. That guy is full of it, man.
They've already talked about this, but I'll read it anyway. A comprehensive evaluation of Live Golf to determine how to best integrate team golf into the professional game will take place.
I'm interested in that. I am interested in that. Again, I hope the team golf doesn't all start on the same hole and we do shotgun start, because I think that kills the drama. And again, I'm just talking golf here. I do kind of like the team thing. When, they had their own logos, or they still do, like the Aces, and I had to figure out what Dustin Johnson was wearing on that Masters or that U.S. Open, PGA Championship week. A lot of the teams are kind of geographical based. The South Africans have their own style of teams. So, I'm a team guy. I like my Cubbies. I do think that there is something about having teams to root for within leagues.
What makes Ryder Cup so much fun?
And we've been doing it, right? We've been doing it. And now this won't be a way where you're somewhat handcuffed to where you were born. This is,
I do like that, hey, your team's on a par 5. We're tied. You're on a par 5, and we're on a very easy par 3.
Yeah.
To end this tournament. And
I see what you're saying.
So all we have to do is par this hole, we win. You've got to birdie that hole for you to tie or win.
So the luck of the draw.
That's right.
On where you're on the course compared to where the scoreboard is. I see what you're saying on that. And again, one thing about the Live Tour that if you've gotten to watch any on YouTube or on the CW, it's clunky just the way they're broadcast.
But what my point is, you're playing at the same time.
Yeah.
In the same moment in time, you're on one hole, I'm on one hole, and when we finish this hole, that's how the winner is decided.
Yeah, well, no offense to YouTube or CW, I just think NBC Golf can do it a lot better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And make it more dramatic.
Right.
That's the thing. I want the drama, and you need good storytellers. So whether it's NBC or CBS, I still want a guy like Jim Nantz bringing me down to the finish.
And again, it's not about like necessarily, like I can knock the style of play, I can knock what it looks like, but I like different things in a course of a season. Like Kurt, I'm sorry, I like Bristol at NASCAR now having a dirt track. Like I think it's pretty cool when you mix in a road course.
I like changing things up.
Yeah, just switching it up all the time.
And
every now
NASCAR's
and
been doing it for a long time.
You avoid the mundane. If it's a mundane thing, then what are you really doing?
And we got a couple of those already in the PGA, and the Ryder Cup happens every 2 years. I'm not concerned about the actual golf play. I don't think that's going to be my biggest concern is everybody gets paid. Nobody wants to play their best. Like nobody cares about making birdies when they're already making $100 million. That's my biggest concern for the play. But when you're talking about format, when you're talking about whether it's an individual thing or a team, throw it up, see where it lands. Let's have some fun and watch Brooks Koepka and Rory McIlroy go at it somehow, some way. And it's all going to be golf in the end. So I'm for that. I'm definitely for that, mixing it up a little bit, depending on what tour we're on this week.
I can't wait to see the world rankings come back and have the best in the world on that rankings and not some guys that are in the top 10 that have never been in the top 10 because their counterparts went to a different tour.
I think that's the biggest issue for people like Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau. How do I measure myself against the rest of the world? I'm supposed to be the best. Yeah, I won the PGA Championship this week. But, what am I supposed to do next week in order to retain that number one status?
When I go play in this team thing.
But the other thing, too, not only the team thing, who can I disrespect? How about the Rocket Mortgage tournament after the Travelers up in Detroit? That tournament, why do I want to go to that? Is that going to really boost my world ranking? So when you can pick and choose some of the tournaments that you want to play in, and have it actually accredited to whatever rank you are, because these guys, yes, they love money, but they have an ego as well because they are athletes and they want to be known as the best. Doesn't matter if we are playing hopscotch or golf. It's the same situation. So I think that is the biggest deal yesterday for guys like that. It's not necessarily I can come back to the Rocket Mortgage tournament and play in front of a couple of fans in Detroit. It's about I can go to the Rocket Mortgage tournament, win, and now I keep my number one overall world ranking going into next week.
We'll talk some MLB next hour. We'll talk some NBA next. It's First Dibs time on the Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell in your afternoon drive. We'll be right back.